Today's matchup features one of the more dangerous pass rushes. The Chiefs are top 10 in total sacks, and they'll be up against the Raiders' offensive line that wants to shut that down. Set for the call of this Week 8 matchup, let's bring in our commentators, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Detroit! Detroit! Hurry up, here we go! Blue 90! Blue 90! Mike 57.
They'll throw on first down with Lynch. And this one caught by Travis Kelce. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. Well, clearly one of his advantages as a passer is his height. Sit back in the pocket, fired over the middle. That makes things tougher defensively, doesn't it?
It really does, because your goal is to move the quarterback off his initial spot when he gets his drop back completed. But when you have that type of height, he can stay in there. If he's willing to take the hits and just fire over the top, which saves him time and actually completes a play a little bit quicker than it normally does for a quarterback who has to slide and find open space to throw.
He lost 4 there, and it's 3rd down.
Time to give a little credit here. That was an excellent read by the guys on the defensive side of the ball.
Oh, you're crediting your defense.
Got to credit them on that one, because they tried to fool him, right? Tried to trick him, ran a screen, and they went to it and smothered it for a loss of yardage.
A tough spot here on their opening drive. This is 3rd and 7.
Set! Green 39! Detroit! Detroit!
On the ground, it's the first carry here for Jamal Charles. And some room to work. A good gain of 14 there, and it moves the chains.
A good explosive run there sets them up with a new set of downs, and every team wants to start their game with a really nice drive. 3 and out. No one wants to see that, and they were able to avoid it after that run.
And a new set of downs here after picking up the first on the ground.
We got three!
They'll keep it on the ground with Charles again. Looking for a cutback lane, but nothing there as he's met at the line of scrimmage. He's brought down that time by a couple of Raiders. And certainly a key cog in this offensive wheel is Jeremy Maclin.
You've just got to find ways to get him the ball, whether you put him in the slot or put him out on the perimeter.
All right, now look at 57. Green 39. Green 39. 57 for Mike. 57 for Mike.
On second down, here's Lynch. He's got his man on the crossing route. Well, we saw the practice film this week. They wanted to focus on these intermediate passing plays, and it paid off there.
And they took that focus not just to the practice field, but in the film room to show the guys exactly what they wanted, what types of looks they should expect to get, and how they would beat those coverages each and every time, and it paid off on that play.
Push him back. Push him back. Hurry up, here we go. Blue 90. Detroit.
A first down carry here for Charles. Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
After watching that play and result, I go back to when we sat with the offensive coordinator, Brandon, before the game and said, how are you going to move the ball running it against the #1 defense? He gave us no indication, didn't tip his hand at all, so we have to see how this unfolds as this game moves along.
Again, it's Charles. Give him 2 on that run, and they're still left looking at a 3rd and about 9 to go.
It's really simple to say that they know their identity, that they are a passing team. But one of the reasons that they're so successful, they know how to mix in the run and make sure that they keep the defense off balance and not able to just simply say, let's go get the quarterback and disrupt things.
Here comes the 7th play of this opening drive. They've moved it well, but here's 3rd down.
Gun! Detroit! Back 99 Philly, here we go!
Now a handoff. This is Charles. And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36. It's a gain of 5, but it'll lead to a 4th down.
Frustrating for a defense, energizing for an offense. Finding a way to create that type of yardage in your running game, that'll make the guys carrying the ball very, very happy.
And look at this. They're keeping the punter on the sideline. They're going to go for it here on the opening drive.
All right, here we go. Green, Detroit. Here we go. Detroit. Green, 39. Green, 39. Black 99, Philly. Here we go. Watch out.
They're going on fourth down. It's Lynch. And it's complete to Kelsey. And he picks up the first before he's taken down at the 29.
We always talk about big-time players make big-time plays in big-time moments. I think that fourth down qualified. That was a heck of a throw.
Now this will be the 9th play on this drive.
Now let's go.
They'll hand it off. This is Charles. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. No gain on the play there. Second down. Time to meet the defensive starters for the Oakland Raiders, and you want to discuss one of their safeties.
I certainly do. Carl Joseph out of West Virginia. Always did a great job policing the middle of the field. A big hitter, knocked the ball away. But really added to his game his last year as a Mountaineer. Became a better cover guy and a better ball hawk before he got injured. They're really going to love him in Oakland.
Quick slant. That's caught by the veteran Macklin. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks. And how about this first drive? They're being aggressive, slinging it around.
Really confident, too, because they're not trying to fool them with running plays, throwing it, and they're being very successful right now.
Oh, and just play after play after play on this long drive for the offense. They run. Charles. And he stopped after only a yard, taking it down to the 14. Got the hand caught up in the grill of the face mask. 15-yard penalty.
So tough for a defender. You're trying so hard to make a play, and the way that these offensive guys can move around, sometimes your hand gets into the wrong place.
Following the penalty, here's Charles. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. 5 yards, a good run there, and now 2nd and goal. When we talk about being on schedule, I think they're on schedule after that run, getting it right down there on the doorstep.
Maybe even a little bit ahead, because now the defense can't dictate with pressure. They're guessing about where you're going to go. I might come right back at them with the same play, the same set, and see if they can stop them.
Call it a gain of a yard as they get a little bit closer here. It's 3rd and goal.
When we talk about Luke Kuechly, you can't talk about his overall game without talking about his intelligence and how he controls the whole defense. He quarterbacks that defense, and at times will actually make checks, just like a quarterback would on offense to get them into the right defense. They definitely were on that play. How about that finish, holding that to a minimal gain?
Defense may be thinking pass. They come out in the nickel on 3rd and goal.
Watch it now, Barney.
Now it's the Princeton man. This is Spencer Ware. No gain on the play, and what to do now on 4th and goal.
There are certain drives in a game where anything less than a touchdown that caps it feels like an absolute disappointment. This is one of those drives.
And it appears they'll go for it here on 4th down. A big call on the game's opening drive. Here we go with Charles. And he is in. Touchdown, Kansas City. Jamal Charles, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Chiefs are going to take a first-quarter lead. That's just a solid, methodical drive to start this game.
And how about how it culminated? Doing exactly what they wanted to do, getting the ball downfield, and then running it into the end zone. I'm just telling you, partner, when you run it in rather than throw it in, that hurts a defense psychologically a heck of a lot more.
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. They isolate Hopkins on the left side. They go play action here on first down. Escaping the pressure right. And his first look is incomplete. And the QB steps over the line of scrimmage. That's an illegal forward pass.
And that is so rare because of the different positions. You have to know different things. Wide receivers have to know where the first down line is. Quarterbacks almost always know where the line of scrimmage is.
Here's Carr. Oh, he's going to take a shot right away. And that's caught inside the 35. Touchdown! DeAndre Hopkins, 79 yards. And the Raiders, they're within an extra point of tying this thing up. And correct me if I'm wrong, that was just a simple fly route, wasn't it?
No, there's nothing to correct at all. You've got it down pat. And I just remember as a player, when I'd be in practice sessions and I'd hear 9 from the receivers, that meant fly route, go. Look out. That was the 9, and he just kept going all the way to the end zone for the touchdown.
And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. So now here are the Chiefs as their offense makes their way back out onto the field. That last drive, it was a good mix. Run, pass, defense on their toes.
And what really helps out in a big way is when you're doing the run-pass mix and everything's working, that means that they're guessing wrong every time on defense. They think you're going to pass when you run and vice versa. I would continue that, and when they finally draw a beat on you, maybe you mix it up a little play action and throw the ball.
And will they maintain that balance? Time to find out. And he'll lay out and pull it in. What a diving catch there.
I'd have to say that whenever you see a good post route run, they do not like to let it end without the catch. Hence, that great diving play.
Yeah, lay it up there, let him go get it, and he got it.
Gone!
Back now with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin as the Chiefs in possession of the football as we begin the second quarter. And they've got it here with a first down. Charles the lone setback.
Green, 39.
On first and 10, it's Lynch. And he fires one incomplete. Offense looking to avoid a 3rd and long. It's 2nd and 10. Here's Charles. And he'll take this one up close to about the 45. He only got a couple on that one, so not a ton of help. They'll have a 3rd and 8 forthcoming.
Tough day, tough sledding right there, and it's been that way the entire game. Not a whole lot of room to ramble for him.
Yeah, you're right. It's been that way all afternoon. Didn't get a whole lot better there.
57 to Mike. 57 to Mike. Come on, oh, come on, oh. Over. Leopard. Check 37. Watch him now, Barney. Out.
They go play action now. Lynch. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
Well, they went for the big play there, but that drop could really hurt their momentum.
On 4th down on is Dustin Colquitt to kick this away. And he'll back up a few steps as he'll make the fair catch at about the 8-yard line. So possession goes over here on the punt. And the Raider drive will start from deep in their own territory with a 1st and 10. And tough starting field position here. Now a carry here for Orleans Darkwa. And a short gain here across the 10 to the 12. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
Partner, you know I love to point out when teams break tendency and do something a little bit different from the norm. But when you run the ball in the first play of the drive, that's not a tendency breaker at all. That's just trying to establish yourself as you move forward.
Second down following the run.
We ready? Red 18.
They'll run again now with Darquan. And he's going to be taken down right at about the 15-yard line. 3 yards on the pickup. That's going to set up an interesting third and about 4 to go.
We always like to talk about defense in terms of levels. First level defensive line, second level linebackers, third level defensive backs. On that run, that was what we call a first level run, and it was stopped by a second level player.
All right, here we go.
From the gun now on third down, Carr. And he's got the completion to Hopkins. They pick up 12 on the play there, and they move the chains.
I don't care how many times we see it. I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. First down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation.
They'll run it now out of the gun. Fighting him off.
Just ran right through the trash.
And able to stay on his feet past the 30 to about the 33-yard line.
You know what really fires up offensive linemen? When the guy that is carrying the ball behind them can create his own space and break a tackle along the way.
And after the play on the ground, that brings up second down here. Shift together here from the D-line.
All right, here we go. Red 18.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. They get 6 on the pickup there as the drive will continue.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football in that situation. That's almost a tendency breaker.
They give them 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs.
And those first downs do add up. The offense keeps the ball moving downfield and keeps their defense on the bench, giving them a chance to rest.
Throwing on first down is Carr. Throw left side to the tight end Walford. And he'll get it down here to the 43. A gain of 6 there on first.
Partner, it's a lot of fun watching the NFL now, isn't it? Because when the big fella runs routes, it used to be when we were kids, he'd run about 3 different routes, and that was it. Now he can run anything and catch the balls we just saw there.
All week in practice, they stressed grounding, pounding the football, and they really executed it well there to get the first down.
That usually means getting back to being physical in practice, because when you emphasize pounding the football, it doesn't really come together unless you practice it the same.
And touchdown! DeAndre Hopkins with 2 touchdowns on the season, both in this game. And the Raiders have taken the lead. So they've had 2 drives, and he's had the 2 receiving touchdowns.
And how about a game plan where you decide to force feed or feature someone, and it works? First 2 drives, as you noted, end up in touchdown passes. I think they're going to keep going to them until a defense makes any kind of an adjustment.
Tyreek Hill on the return. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. They'll come out in the pistol.
Green 39. Green.
On first down, it's Lynch. To the right side, and he's got Macklin. Complete. Give him 9 there on the first down completion. That time they hit him out of the slot on the drag.
And that route takes some fortitude from the guy running it, because he knows he's going through the briar patch, as I like to call it, right? He's trying to work his way through all that traffic and people wanting to put a little contact on him. Really well done.
On second down, Jamal Charles. And he'll go down just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup there, but it's enough to give him a new set of downs.
2nd and 1, and people want to run the football. This is where every back in the league is supposed to do exactly what we just saw there. Pick up the first down.
And a new set of downs here after picking up the first on the ground. Charles, the lone setback. Throwing here, Lynch on first down. Harris has it over the middle. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. And that's one of his advantages of a passer, is now with his height, setting back there in the pocket, firing over the middle, he can really see everything clearly.
It is, and I know that other quarterbacks get it done different ways, all right? You don't have to be his height to make a great play, but what he does is he takes away having to make those slide steps in the pocket to find angles to throw the ball through. He just throws right over the top of it because he can see everything, and sometimes that saves time and gets the ball to a receiver quicker.
And now we're circling here around the 2-minute warning.
This is a setup play, trying to get one last one in before the clock warning.
Here we go. 3:19.
And time for us to take a break here in the booth. We're back to Arrowhead after this.
Leopard, set. Green 39. Green 39. 57.
From the gun, it's Lynch. He's going to rifle one deep left side. And they went big on first down. Proves unfruitful.
One of the toughest things about playing defensive back is pattern reading, trying to figure out what they're doing. And on that one, they had the fly, just sending a guy downfield with the in route accompanying it, what people call a dagger route, trying to hit the guy underneath after the clear out. In this case, though, they're not able to get it done.
Yeah, they said forget the underneath route. They went for the guy on the fly, but as you said, incomplete. On second down, Lynch. And Hill with it over the middle. And he's finally taken down, but not before getting across midfield and across the 45-yard line. Well, we know he's got the speed there. He needed the speed and the hands. A great catch.
And because of that speed, you have to respect it as a defender. So you have to either play off or make sure you're somehow in contact with him, and he's able to do exactly what you said. Use the speed to his advantage and go up and get the football. That's a big-time play right there.
It's Hill, complete. And nothing but green grass here, middle of the field. And all the way in for a Kansas City touchdown. Tyreek Hill, his 9th touchdown of the season. And the Chiefs have tied it, and they can take the lead with the extra point. Now, after the touchdown, here's Santos to kick this one away. This is fielded at the chalk of the 10. He can't bring him down.
The weight room does work.
And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. The Raider offense now making their way toward the huddle. And they're hoping to capture some of that magic they had last time out when they were able to put together a scoring drive. But they're still down here, Charles.
Not the major concern, though, because of what you talked about. They scored the last time out. They feel good about themselves. They feel like their game plan is now in effect. They know how to attack and what plays they want to put together. But they've got to keep it moving in the right direction because, as you did note, they are down on the scoreboard.
On 1st and 10, here's Carr. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete. The Pro Bowler DeAndre Hopkins, the intended receiver. That'll bring up 2nd down.
It's a tried-and-true formula, and I don't think it'll change for as long as we play football. If someone's trying to throw the ball and you can put pressure on them and make it tough, that's only going to help your defense.
Yeah, he's since being hurried. He got rid of it before taking the hit, but incomplete. So the D-line's going to spread out. Back to the air on 2nd down. It's Carr. He's going to loft one deep left side here. It's caught inside the 25. And all the way down inside the 25 before he gets out of bounds. A great job pulling that one in from a guy, as we know, who can really blaze. He's got a lot of speed.
And that speed can work for him so many different ways. Sometimes he just takes off and goes and just runs past people. Sometimes you get people to back off so far that you can catch everything underneath. But still, at some point in the game, you probably have to make some contested catches, right? Sometimes you have to go up and beat a defender for the football. He has that in his arsenal as well.
Showed it right there. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down. And the offense there, the O-line, everybody really on offense, they were just manhandled at the point of attack.
Yeah, you could pretty much call them all out, couldn't you? And almost by name, right? That was a very tough sequence for the offensive line. But how about that defensive front? Creating a new line of scrimmage and creating a lost yardage possibility.
A gain of a yard gets them back where they started. Now it's 3rd and 10.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
Throw left side to the tight end, Walford. It'll be a gain of 8 yards, and it'll be 4th down.
He wasn't the primary target, but I think it was almost like a check-down situation, wasn't it?
Yeah, hoping he can break some tackles, a big tight end, but he couldn't do it.
Yeah, get it to that big frame and hope he can scatter some bodies, unable to get it done.
And Catanzaro's kick is right through. And with that, they'll take a 2-point lead here in quarter number 2. So they kick it through to take the lead. There is a little bit of time left, though, here in the second quarter.
And while they're concerned about not giving up a big return or giving up points themselves going into the half, how good do they feel, though, putting points on the board themselves right near the end of the first half?
Watch left. Start right there.
They come out here in the eye.
Green, 39. No. Check. Patriot.
In motion, the tight end, Kelsey.
All right, now, lucky 56.
They'll start the drive with Jamal Charles. And he'll take this up near the 35, maybe the 34. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. So as they take it over, we step aside. And you see the clock almost empty, so this is likely the last play in the second quarter. Final play of the half. It's Lynch. And he's got a man on the crossing route. That's Macklin. And he's finally taken down, but not before getting across midfield and across the 45-yard line. So both teams have their marching orders, and we'll get going again here in quarter number 3. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Out comes the Raiders offense. They'll go on offense first to start quarter number 3. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had the ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ballgame.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else.
On second down, here's Carr. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up third down.
I know tight ends love this route because a lot of times they'll fake a block first and get a little bit of space and then come across the middle because in their mind, they're thinking catch the ball and then drop the hammer on the little guys in the secondary.
Unable to drop the hammer, he just dropped the pass. 12 yards to go on third down. Throwing his Carr on third down. And the Chiefs are going to get him. Justin Houston with a big-time sack on third down. And it'll be a loss of 7. Here's Marquette King now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. He'll send this one into the Midwestern air, and it's a good one. That's pulled in at the 32. 12 yards on the return that time. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. So here's the Chiefs offense ready for their first reps in half number 2. They were able to get the stop defensively. Now a chance really to set the tone here in quarter 3.
They can really take charge, can't they? And this is probably how it was drawn up at the half. I think we can go inside the locker room, all right? And I think we would see up on the grease boards, stop them defensively, get the ball back for the offense, and let's go downfield and score. Seems simple, right? The last part, we have to find out that's going to happen. But the first part worked to perfection. Did exactly what they wanted, and now their offense has to pay it off.
See if they can get the latter 50%. They pitch it to Charles. And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line. Give him 3 yards and a fresh set of downs.
Ordinarily in short yardage, most people don't run a toss because it takes a little bit longer to develop. But some teams see it as a very physical type run because the amount of people that get out in front of the runner, offensive linemen, tight ends, sometimes an extra back, they like to run that play there and try and run over people.
Throwing here, Lynch on first down. Quick slant, that's caught by the veteran Macklin. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and get the quarterback a really nice target.
As they've done all day, they run with Charles. And he's got room. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. Give him 12 yards on that one. It earns him a fresh set of downs.
I thought guys that were over 30 weren't supposed to run the football this well in the National Football League. How about that veteran leadership? A big-time run combined with some nice blocking by his offensive line, showing that the ins and outs of being a veteran still has his place in this league. His odometer is not totally turned over yet.
5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
I know the toss play begins with the guy taking the snap and turning around and tossing it to the runner. But where the real intrigue is, can they seal the edge? Whether it's an offensive tackle or a tight end in the direction they want to run the football. If they do that, that's the result that you get, that type of a gain. If they don't, oftentimes it's not a very successful play.
This is Charles. And they get to him quickly here as he stopped right around the 13. Still a couple yards short of the first as the 3-yard gain brings up a 3rd down. 3rd down now following the run.
Leopard! Leopard! Hurry up, here we go! Green 39! Green 39! Come on out here, come on.
3rd and 2, now Lynch. And Wilson has it. And he picks up the first as he's able to take it down to the 7-yard line.
A little football 101 there. You just see the receiver trying to run down the defender, meaning he goes right at him and really trying to move him a little bit towards the center of the field so he can put his foot in the ground and break to the out, to the sideline, and make a catch.
They run it. It's Charles. And they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 9. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
And as we've seen throughout this season, it's no picnic trying to score touchdowns against this unit. They're ranked number 1 against the run. But it's also difficult because it's not easy to throw the ball against them either.
On 2nd down, here's Lynch. It's brought in by Harris. And he will take it on in for a Chiefs touchdown. Demetrius Harris, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Chiefs are going to jump back in front. And his kick is right through. Now after the touchdown, here's Santos to kick this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Now the Raiders offense, they get set to head back on the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. And there just continues to be nowhere to run. He's bottled up again at the line of scrimmage. And yet again, this run game just continues to be completely shut off.
Completely stymied. I mean, they're trying to get some consistency, trying to find places to roam. They just haven't been there throughout this game.
And this is caught. A spectacular one-handed grab there. A really nice gain of 25 yards.
It's got to the point where we see guys like that make that type of a catch. Not fair goes through my brain. That size, that speed, and now they're acting like wide receivers too.
Yeah, tight end one-handed catches. They're kind of like wide receiver one-handed catches nowadays.
Just not right.
And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle, that's what we saw right there.
Yeah, that's what their job is, and really a lot of the time they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter.
Trying to force it to Hopkins, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the free safety, Eric Berry. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. The Chiefs offense now making their way back onto the field. And that last drive was very, very balanced, pretty methodical. You think they go that route again?
I'm always of the school that until they stop me from doing something, I'm going to continue. And I think that that's exactly what they'll look to do. But the beauty is the balance that they've created sets up opportunities for big plays. Looks like a run, turn into a play action, and throw one deep. It's not always as trite as that team wanted it more than the other, but on that play, it actually was true. They were faster to the ball.
Defense in a good spot. Let's see how the offense responds with a 2nd and 13 now. On the run, it's Charles. And he'll take this one up to about the 13. 8 yards on the run, and that cuts this down to a 3rd and about 5.
On a 2nd and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation. I think that goes back to their practice and game planning. They've seen things that they've seen on tape and in previous games that led them to believe that even in a long-distance situation, they can still run the football and gain enough yardage to put themselves in a good spot on 3rd down.
They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up 4th down. Here's Dustin Colquitt now, standing just outside his own goal line.
Now, that's going to be a tough one to explain when they get together and watch the game film, isn't it? I mean, they had the right call, had the out route. He's got to know where the first down sticks are, yet he steps out of bounds that close. Not their best play.
And that hits at the 6 and carries into the end zone for a touchback. So out come the Raiders. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. And almost intercepted. It would have been his 2nd pick of the game. Instead, it'll be 2nd down. Unable to connect on the first down pass play. Now it's 2nd down. They isolate Hopkins on the left side.
All right, here we go.
Carr again here on 2nd and 10. He's going to flip that out to the flat. It's complete. A good job defensively to hold that to 4 yards, and now it's 3rd down.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
It's 3rd down, 6 yards to go for the offense. From the gun, it's Carr. The hook up on the right side to Hopkins. That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1. We're back now in KC. It's Raider football here, but they're on the short side of the scoreboard right now as we begin the 4th. One score down. Here we go. They're going to go for it here on 4th down.
All right, here we go.
Walford in motion, the tight end. Now Carr, got to have this one. And he gets it to Funchess complete. And he's able to get it to the 33. Good enough for a first down.
Well, it all came together on that one, didn't it?
Big-time throw on fourth.
Now, that had to feel good, didn't it? Taking that type of a gamble there and making it pay off. What a throw.
And tough as a receiver because no matter how perfect the pass, you know it's fourth down and you got to convert.
A little bit of extra pressure, but he overcame it. Not a run that you're going to write home about, but still a good first down run. That's what an offense calls staying on schedule. 3 to 4 yards on first down, you're set up very well for the rest of the drive.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. And the play goes for 19 yards, gives him a new set of downs. And they're going to speed things up here. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's swallowed up right near the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be second down. And when you're running the football, one thing you don't want to see is a big boy coming up there and swallow you whole in those D tackles and nose tackles.
No, you're actually counting on your big boys to protect you from them. But on that play, the defensive tackle had the leverage, and he won the battle. No gain, correct?
No gain. And he'll be brought down at about the 42. 1 yard, the official pickup there, so it's going to set up 3rd and 9.
The best defensive linemen, they play with great leverage so they can get low and not get bowled over by offensive linemen. They have excellent hands. They can throw people off on a play. We just saw a great example of a really good run stop by a guy playing the defensive tackle position.
A fight for the football, and it's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And he's able to get it back to the 41-yard line. And the Chiefs now getting set to go. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
They begin the drive with Charles. And the play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back near the 40 at the 39. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down. And in this situation with the lead fourth quarter, they're liking keeping the ball on the ground, I'm sure.
That's just smart football, but you know the defense has to know it as well. They've got to stop them here. So now we're going to see that loading the box in a big way. 6, 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take, puts a little bit more pressure on your big offensive line.
All right, here we go. Green, 3.
Lynch looking to throw on second. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
When defenses get to the quarterback that quickly, a lot of times it's called a jailbreak. It wasn't quite that fast, but fast enough that he had no time to look downfield and set himself to throw the ball. And as he tried to do that, he was hit, and it forced an incompletion.
And the offense looking to pick up the first down after the second down incompletion.
A dime look defensively for the Raiders on 3rd down.
Yeah, you're right. 2 extra DBs out there. On 3rd down, Lynch. And he fires one, but incomplete. His favorite target, Travis Kelce, the intended receiver. And that brings up 4th down. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. And a fair catch signaled for and taken just outside the 20-yard line. 36 yards on the punt with no return, and the offense will take over with a new set of downs. They'll come out in the pistol.
All right, here we go.
They go back to the air here after the INT. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
Well, any caused incompletion is good for a defense. But when you add to it, you get a little hit on the quarterback, knock him to the ground, make him think a little bit, hopefully knock him off his game, especially in a game of this magnitude, this tight in the fourth quarter. Got to feel pretty good as a defense.
Play action. Now it's Carr. Rolling to his right. Oh, he's got some breathing room. And he'll be out of bounds at the 25-yard line. It's a gain of 5 on the play, and that'll lead here to a 3rd down.
How about a tip of the cap to the defense? They're working against a very mobile quarterback, but all day long they've kept him under wraps. And on that play, they held him to a short gain.
Five yards to gain here on third down. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to have the first down, yardage to the 35. They get 9 out of that one, and as a result, the drive continues. Offense comes to the line now, 1st and 10.
On third down, that's a good job of situational football and understanding where the first down marker was and getting there.
He's going to air one out. And he's going to be intercepted a third time. A great read, and it's picked off. And his guys are going to take over at the 31-yard line. And now here comes Kansas City. They're out in front. Last time they had to punt it away. We'll see if they can add to their lead now.
They don't want to go out and punt it away again. This team now wants to get a cushion, put people away. They want to run their offense and have it end up in the end zone.
Charles. And he's got some space here. And all the way down to the 24-yard line. It's a big run there by Charles. 45 yards on the ground. Charles, the lone setback.
Lucky 56. Lucky 56. All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
On first down, it's Lynch. Deep drop. And that is incomplete. Demetrius Harris, the intended target. And now it's 2nd down.
I hope I don't sound too rah-rah on that one, but that's the exact right throw. Either your receiver gets it or no one gets it. Give him a lot of credit for being really precise with it.
Got rid of it. No one got it. So incomplete on first. Let's see what 2nd down has in store. Kelsey out in the slot right.
Here we go now.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And not much. Maybe a yard down to the 23. He's brought down that time by a couple of Raiders. The 4th quarter here, they've got the lead. They want to keep it on the ground. That's what they're doing.
Smart football. Keep the clock grinding. Keep it going. But you got to figure now, they're going to see more people stacked up at the line of scrimmage as they try and bleed it out.
So a 3rd and 9 and 6 defensive backs out there in the dime.
Patrolling the passing lanes.
Blitz coming, and down he goes. Luke Kuechly with a big-time sack on 3rd down. And it'll be a loss of 7. So on 4th down, now whistles, and the Raiders are going to signal for a timeout. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the 4th quarter. And the head coach reaches for the red flag, tosses it down on the field. He wants a challenge here. And here's a big one now. Try to hold this lead. They're going to go for it here on 4th down.
Hurry up, hit me. Gone. Leopard.
Watch the ship. Hey, watch the ship.
They're going on 4th down. It's Lynch surveying the field. And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Darius Slay with a pick. A critical error there in a tight game in the 4th.
All you talk about is taking care of the football, and especially with a lead here in the 4th quarter, turning it over, now the door is open for the opposition.
Just in general, when you're passing in the 4th quarter with a lead, no matter at what point, you got to be super careful.
Got to be careful, and sometimes you can be so careful that you end up running yourself into an error.
Over the middle, and it's incomplete.
Whenever they're trying to attack a zone defense, you're trying to figure out where your gaps are going to be. And depending on what type of zone they're playing, it could be on the outside, it could be in the middle, it could be in the seams, in the edges. In this case, they tried to attack the middle of the field, but this zone defense didn't allow it because they were able to see the ball come off the quarterback's hands, and everyone was able to react to the football and knock it away.
Give him 4 on the ground there. They're now left with 3rd and 6.
Well, if you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
He's just going to dump this one off to his fullback out of the backfield. It goes as a gain of 9, and it moves the chains.
And they pick up a first down, and that came out of the fullback position. But as you and I both know, that doesn't necessarily mean it's a fullback playing in that spot.
Well, times have changed, right? The old school fullback doesn't really exist anymore.
We're not getting that same player out of college. With all the spread offenses, not very many pro style, where you actually have a true fullback. We're having to make do in the NFL and put guys in that spot who emulate it but aren't necessarily that position.
On second down, here's Carr. Backing up. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And it's knocked away and incomplete.
I guess they figure with a guy who is that hot downfield, who knows how to get the ball into the end zone, you throw it up and give him every opportunity, even though that one fell incomplete.
Yeah, he's already been in the end zone multiple times. Tried to target him again deep there, but unsuccessful. Back to throw. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up fourth down.
Oh, man, for him to be that wide open and drop it. Sometimes you have just too much time on your hands, right? You end up thinking way too much, and your hands get shaky.
And yes, he's a tight end, but that's a catch he should have made. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. That'll be their third and final stoppage here as we step aside. And down by 5. They've got to go for it here on fourth down. Got to try it here. He's back to throw. Finding time. Oh, hit as he throws, and this is going to be incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And, boy, possession here turns over with the football already being in the red zone. And a great spot to start this drive from here. They come out here in the eye. They'll give it to him right up the gut. And they're going to lose some on this play. Being knocked back to the 18. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
Partner, I think there's a lesson there. Some days you're just having a really tough time, and for the defense, today has been that day. But after that play, what do you learn? You can still make plays even when the other guy's having success against you.
Oh, Lynch going to throw. This will be caught just inside the 10. And he couldn't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders, hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or?
Better against man, because now you're running away from someone and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
A fresh set of downs, and they're at the 1. First and goal. And he's across for the touchdown. And in the final minute, that should just about seal it.
And that touchdown should make you feel comfortable. But do you really feel like it's totally over yet?
Not totally, but I think you're pretty much there.
Yeah, you've still got to make sure you stay with it, do all the right things down the stretch, especially on defense. But that touchdown there, you've got to feel good about your chances.
This one taken just inside the 10. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. The Raiders offense now, they trot back out. And last time out, went for it on fourth down, turned it over, gave them great field position, turned it to 6 points. So they've got to recover here, Charles.
It's amazing what one decision can do in the chain of events, right? The decision to go for it on fourth down.
Caused all of that.
It caused every bit of it, but it showed confidence. Hey, I've got confidence in you guys. Go pick it up for them. Didn't happen. also showed confidence in the defense. They didn't pick up their end of the bargain, so now they've got to come back out and start over and rebuild that confidence.
And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. It's a gain of 9 yards. And that'll make it 2nd and short. And they're going to hurry back to the line now. Carr. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked off by the Pro Bowler, Marcus Peters. And this one will be brought back to the 22. And now here comes Kansas City. The clock cannot be stopped here. Defense can't do anything. So kneel it down, take it home.
No doubt about it. It's what you practice for in winning situations each and every week. Victory formation. Take a knee and go on into the locker room and celebrate.
Call it a victory. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks and allow other people to make tackles. But when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
Call it a gain of a couple, and that's going to leave them with a 3rd and about 5. And, Charles, I think when the schedule comes out, all teams, no matter where they're predicted to finish, talk about protecting your home turf. They were able to do that here in this one.
Similar to a tennis match, right? Not letting them break your serve. That way you hold on to it. They got it done, and they feel very good about that victory.
So for Kansas City, they close out this first half at a very solid 6-2. And they'll get to stay put for a few days as they'll host the Dallas Cowboys next week. Meanwhile, for our visitors, they fall for the first time this season after 6 wins to start the campaign. And they'll get a home date next week against the San Diego Chargers. So that's a wrap. For Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And this has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. For more, check us out at easports.com. The Chiefs victorious here as we say so long.